Your local cow ranch, just what the country needs.
Shop now at Cal Ranch and save on supplies you'll use all season. Now through September 19th, save $50 off the Milwaukee M18 fuel blower and be ready for fall yard cleanup. At Cal Ranch, people find great value with deals for all their farm and home projects, including a free Milwaukee M18 2.0 battery when you get the Milwaukee M18 Drill and Impact Driver Kit, available for just $199.99. That's $99 in savings on a drill, impact driver, and free battery. Plus, check out even more free battery offers with other popular Milwaukee tool kits, like the M18 Brushless 2-Tool Combo. Power your next project for even less at Cal Ranch.
Your local cow ranch, just what the country needs.
Stop at Cal Ranch through September 19th for deals that do the heavy lifting.
It's time for the Garden Guide with your host, Mark Anderson from Anderson Seed and Garden.
New research suggests that people are more likely to eat vegetables if they have a tempting name.
What'd life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes.
From gardening to landscaping.
Today we are going to try and create garden eyebrows. Kind of like the flowers are sprouting directly from your hair. That makes sense.
Phone lines are open at 753-KVNU or 800-369-KVNU.
Kind of like eating vegetables.
It's the Garden Guide, now on KVNU 610 AM and 102 FM.
And we welcome you to the show on a beautiful Saturday morning. I'm Will Feelright along with Mark Anderson of Anderson Seed and Garden. Welcome to the Garden Guide as we're talking about all things lawn and garden. And Mark, I think it's about time we start talking about the fact that it's starting to feel like fall.
It really does feel like fall.
Definitely a little bit of a chill in the air in the mornings.
So I had a couple commitments yesterday, and I got home, and it was probably 6:30 or so. And I was like, I need to go out and do this in the garden. And I went and picked some things. And it's like, I'll go back out and I'll do some watering. I'll do it. And by the time I turned around, it was like dark outside.
Pitch black and cold.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, man, it's like 7:30 and it's dark already outside. It wasn't dark, but it was like getting there.
I enjoy going out in the early mornings for runs every other day, and I've debated how long I can wait until I have to put a little pair of gloves on before I go out, because it gets a little cold now in the morning.
It's been a little bit more chilly and definitely colder in the morning.
Yeah.
Definitely colder in the morning.
But it has ripened up my tomatoes. I finally have started to see those tomatoes ripen up. We picked all of the pears and some of the apples. We've got a couple different varieties of apples, and picked some of those and starting to get those to ripen up.
Nice. I picked a bunch of my Blazing Star peaches this year, and
really?
This week they were amazing. Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm super excited about that.
And it's that time of year where a lot of us are bottling. We've been bottling beans like crazy, and then we've got applesauce and others that are going to be coming up. So a lot to talk about, especially as we're doing a lot of harvesting. Could talk about fruit trees. A lot of fruit trees really overloaded, and that has caused some damage. So we can talk about pruning up those fruit trees.
Trying to repair some of that. Yeah, trying to repair some of that. And it's a great time of year to be able to just walk out in the garden and pick some carrots and grab a zucchini and grab some tomatoes and an onion, and all of a sudden, cucumbers. You've got 3/4 of a meal already, already put together. And we grabbed a cantaloupe last night, and it's just like, doesn't get you better than this.
And it tastes so good.
So good.
My kids, they were pretty good with most vegetables, but they love vegetables from the garden.
Yeah.
They just taste so much better. And beans this time of year, nothing better than some fresh beans for dinner. So
that is the absolute truth. So you spend all that summer, working and trying to keep it clean and fertilizing and, taking care of all those plants. But then, in August and September, you really just get to enjoy it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weeds in my garden, though.
I know. But you kind of get to the point where you're just like, well.
All that rain, and then just the weeds just popped up like crazy, and it's like, No, I'm not doing it.
I'm just going to let it go.
It's like, we'll just till you back in and we'll make good compost.
Yeah.
So that's how it works out. Cash sale still going on at Anderson Seed and Garden.
Great.
So we got the cash sale. We're still at 50%. So if you pay with cash, you can get trees and shrubs and roses. I've got some pretty good roses left. I've got some really nice trees left. There's some good looking shrubs. We've got some vines. They are all half price if you pay with cash. If you pay with a credit card or a check, you're gonna get 40% off. So it's still a great deal, 40% off. But get that extra 10% if you pay with cash. And there are still some good plants there. We just got some more perennials in, so we've got some nice flowering perennials. We should have pansies in for fall next week. So we got our fingers crossed for pansies. Pumpkins are going to show up. Probably next week as well, too, since the Pumpkin Festival is coming on. Yeah, Pumpkin Festival's coming on. And then this week we got tulips and daffodils and hyacinths in, so we got a whole bunch of fall bulbs. So crocus, tulips, daffodils, hyacinths, they're all starting to show up at the store. And we've got, let's see, now we have, I think, 20 varieties of garlic in stock.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got a whole bunch of garlic in stock as well, too. So things are happening for fall at Anderson. So if you want some nice new garlic for planting or for consumption,
just want to eat it.
I've been taking it home, and we made some awesome pasta sauce the other night with it. Garlic varieties are in. We've got a whole bunch of hard neck varieties and probably 5 or 6 varieties of soft neck. And so if you don't know the difference, the soft necks keep a little bit longer. Hard necks have a little bit more robust flavor. So we've got some really great varieties of garlic. Tulips, daffodils, hyacinths, crocus, they're all in, and the cash sale still going on at Anderson's.
Right.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it, 2 weeks from today.
The Pumpkin Festival.
It's the Pumpkin Festival, yeah.
So we're getting things ready. We've got the pie eating contest is going to be awesome this year. It's sponsored by Lee's Marketplace. So Lee's going to provide the pies and the fun at the plaza. That's from 2 until 3 o'clock. And the day of the event, you'll be able to come in to the plaza and sign up. It's either going to be, the sign-up's either going to be at the plaza or it's going to be at Lee's booth. And I think their booth's going to be right on Center Street, right close to the stage.
Okay.
So I think it might be at the booth there. We got a couple weeks to clarify, but I think the sign-up will be right there. You can sign up that day. Well, I think there's 3 categories, maybe 4. So we've got a children's category, we've got a youth category, and then we've got an adult category. And it was a blast last year. It was really cool. Yeah, it was really cool. And so Lee's Marketplace is sponsoring the pie eating contest. Utah Theater showing movies throughout the day. So of course we've got It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and that will be every hour on the hour from 11 until 5. And then at 5:30 they're showing Hotel Transylvania.
Oh, okay.
And all the movies are free, so it's free. You can go in for free. And, of course, you can buy concessions. You can buy drinks and popcorn and stuff. But the movies are all free. Tons of kids' activities going on throughout the day. On Center Street, we've got activities happening, just tons of cool stuff. Yeah, Jump the Moon's going to be there doing art projects. And I think we've got 20 different kids' activities happening all throughout the day right there on Center Street and in the plaza as well, too. So at the Jim and Carol Lobb Plaza, there'll be some great activities going on there as well. And we'll have music at the plaza as well, too. So we've got, let's see, to start off with, we've got the High Desert Surfers at 11 o'clock. And then we've got Erica Cheyenne and the Traveling Gypsies at 1 o'clock. And then we've got the Foo Fighters at 3 o'clock. And so we've got music going on in the Lobb Plaza all afternoon. And then for the evening concert, we've got the Lonely Hearts Club Band coming again. And they'll play from about 5 o'clock until 7 right on Center Street.
Okay.
Right on Center Street. And then the best part of the Pumpkin Festival is coming and checking out the giant pumpkins.
Yeah, that'll be along Center Street.
Right on Center Street. From the Arch to Main Street, there'll be giant pumpkins all along there. You can walk through there and check out the giant pumpkins. And then there'll be weighing pumpkins and various other vegetables throughout the day. So there'll be the kids category to start off with, and then they'll start right into the giant pumpkins. And throughout the day, they'll weigh giant watermelons and giant tomatoes, and I mean, so there's other categories as well too that they'll do throughout the day. So that should be a lot of fun too. I think there's about 110 vendors that are coming and 15 food trucks. So there's tons of different options if you want to come down, and you can spend 2, 3, 4 hours there at the Pumpkin Festival and just have a blast right there on Center Street. So that is September the 27th. It starts at 11 o'clock, and it will go from 11 o'clock until about 5:30, and that's when the music starts. So it'll go until 7 o'clock. Once Lonely Hearts Club Band is done, it'll be about 7 o'clock. It'll be starting to get a little bit dark by then. So a lot of fun at the Center Street Giant Pumpkin Festival. From what I hear from the growers, it sounds like we have 2 or 3 pumpkins, maybe more, that could be over 2,000 pounds.
That are going to be over
some
2.
really big ones. Yeah, some really, really big ones. So I think our second place pumpkin last year was like 1,860 pounds. And it was a new record for Cache Valley. So it was a new Cache Valley record. But then our winner was 2,289 pounds. So we only had one 2,000-pound pumpkin last year. This year we're going to have two. We're going to have 2 or 3. Yeah, we're going to have 2 or 3. So we got a lot of really big pumpkins coming in.
And if you haven't seen these pumpkins, it's incredible. They're huge. They're on these massive pallets. Yeah. And first thing that caught my attention when we went the first time 2 years ago was, here they are sitting on these huge pallets, and they're still watering them. Yeah. They've got a huge bucket of water that they've got all of the roots, the vines in, because these things will go through 5 gallons of water just sitting there.
The ones that really think they're going to win, they'll bring buckets of water, and they will put the vines in there because they'll evaporate a lot of water, so they'll lose weight just sitting out there on the street. So they'll put them in. They'll put them in buckets of water so that they'll continue to absorb up that moisture, and they won't lose weight throughout the day, so that when they get weighed,
a little bit more.
Yeah, they're a little
well, and
little heavier.
One of the farmers was telling me, he's like, these will easily drink 5 gallons of water in a day, and I thought,
easy.
More than any of us.
Yep, easily.
So it's always a lot of fun. It's free, fun for the whole family. That'll be 2 weeks from now. We'll be, of course, live at the Center Street Pumpkin Festival 2 weeks from this morning.
Yeah,
so,
you got it. Yeah. And then today we've got Latino Festival on Center Street.
Starts at 10 o'clock this morning, continues through the morning and afternoon, and great time to come out. Check out of course, we'll have the parade. There'll be dances, performances, and lots of food.
Yeah. And it's just a fun party.
Yeah.
It's just a really fun party. So if you haven't ever been, come to Latino Festival, because there's tons of colors and lots of music and lots of excitement happening. Yeah.
Well, we've got a couple calls already waiting to come on the line, and one of these is a guest.
And we do have a guest. Yes.
Yeah, in fact, if you'd like to introduce Doug, for many who have listened to the show over the years will recognize Doug Washburn.
Yeah, so we've got Doug Washburn with Agrono-Tec Seed. Doug, welcome to the Garden Guide.
Welcome. Good to hear from you guys.
Yes.
And there's just an enormous amount of things going on in the valley, it sounds like.
Tons of fun stuff happening. Yep, lots of fun. So we're glad you could join us today. And as usual, your specialty is grass and grass seed and new varieties of grass. So we're going to have I've got multiple questions for you, Doug, and we'll and hopefully get you to answer all those questions, but we do have a caller.
So, we also do, and Kathy has been holding on the line from Dayton. Kathy, welcome to the show this morning.
Good morning. I have one regular question and one really weird question.
That works.
Okay.
That works.
My regular question is, I need to get my soil ready to plant raspberries. I tried to do it last year, and then things happened this year that I didn't get them planted. But then I heard you say that I shouldn't have used cow manure to get it ready.
Okay.
And so now I'm going, okay, I already put it in the area, but that was a year ago. So is that safe now?
Should be all right. Yeah, should be all right. So the reason we usually recommend you don't use is like steer manure is because steer manure can transfer some diseases into your soil that could cause problems for raspberries. And so we'll usually direct our customers and people who would like to plant raspberries to more of a poultry type compost instead of the steer compost. But if it's been a year, A lot of that can break down. What I would highly recommend is that you water that area when you get your raspberries planted. Water them with the fungicide 5 from Fertilome, because it will actually kill verticillium and fusarium that's in the soil, and it will protect your plants. And so that would be my number one suggestion, is get some humate in there, because the humate helps break down a lot of different things as well too. But fungicide 5, it really, really helps. So for your first 2 or 3 waterings, you want to mix that in with like your root stimulator. If you're doing kangaroots or if you're doing Bigfoot, that will really, really help with that.
Okie doke.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, next question is weird. Okay, so I also didn't thin my peach tree as much as I should, so we've had to prop up the branches so they don't all break.
Right.
But I got to thinking, see, I want it shorter. So as long as the branches are down, once we're picking them, would it hurt my tree if I trimmed the tree down at that time?
Not at all. Not at all. In fact, you can prune pretty much any time during the season. You don't have to do it first thing in the spring. And so you could do some pruning this fall, no problem, and adjust the height of your tree. And peaches will do fine if they're a little bit shorter, and usually want kind of an open center anyway. So you can go through and kind of trim that middle out and try and open the tree up so you get some more sunlight into the tree as it produces, because it'll help ripen your fruit up faster.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yep. So not an odd question, Kathy.
Okay.
Yeah, not an odd question at all. So,
thank
you.
We can talk more about pruning, because a lot of people, especially around our neighborhood, saw a lot of apples, a lot of peaches come on, and that has caused some damage. And so if you didn't get those thinned, and a lot of us were guilty even with thinning them, we still had an apple tree that lost a couple limbs.
Just covered. Yeah. My poor donut peach literally had thousands of fruit on it. It was just absolutely covered. And we thinned probably 90% of it, and it still wasn't quite enough.
Yeah.
Peaches were still small, but there was a ton of them.
Yeah.
Just lots and lots and
really
lots of
loaded
peaches.
this year.
Fortunately, the peaches with the donut peach aren't so big that they're so heavy, because they would have pulled the branches down also. But since the peaches are a little bit smaller to begin with, it wasn't as problematic. So
we ended up just having to pull. You remember playing tetherball back in the day? We had an old tetherball stand in our backyard. We ended up just rolling that over by our peach tree, laying it down beside the trunk going up, and just wrapping the tree just to kind of hold it up against that tetherball stand, because it was just so loaded that a couple branches were just coming down. So we'll talk more about that coming up. But, of course, Doug joining us on the line. And, Doug, I always love this time of year, because my grass starts to look as good as everybody else's, because it seems like during the summer months, grass always it takes a beating due to the hot and dry summer conditions that we have. And now things are starting to green back up.
Yeah, it's remarkable how that happens. But yeah, the grasses that we use in the Cache Valley are considered cool season grasses. So the summer heat does put a little bit of stress on them. Logan's been lucky to have some adequate water available, so that's been good.
And cooler temperatures too. We haven't been as hot this year, so we didn't hit 100 this year. So so it was much cooler summer than usual, but very, very dry. Yeah, very dry.
But in my observations and traveling and stuff, I think Cache Valley has the best looking lawns in the state, from Wellsville to Preston, and I think it really sets a great tone as you come into the valley, that there's such a great appreciation and attention to people's lawns.
Yeah, absolutely. If you didn't know, Doug, the Cache Water District has put together a new program. So they've kind of been working with Slow the Flow over the years, and the Utah program. And they've been trying to get people to flip their strip and do different landscape options. Well, we've kind of partnered with Cache Water District, and we're doing a grass program. And so they've got a really great program now, and I think they announced it last weekend. And I think in the last 5 or 6 years, we probably had a handful of people that took advantage of the Flip the Strip and some of the landscape promotions they had going on. We've already got 30 people that have signed up for drought-tolerant turf, and that's just been in a week. So very excited about that.
Well, Mark has done a great job foreseeing these problems that could come in the turf arena. And many years ago, you embraced turf-type tall fescues.
Yeah.
And you started to warn people that they needed to change the type of turf that they have in the valley. And you've done a wonderful job educating people. And according to my numbers, you're the biggest turf-type tall fescue promoter and seller in the state of Utah.
That's the way we like
so
it.
You're ahead of the curve, and the people in the valley have taken advantage of that, and they're doing their part to save water.
Yeah, we've just been super excited about putting this program together with the Cache Water District, and we're using the Eden variety of grass mix. So super excited about that Eden grass mix. And really, if you want to transform your parking strip or change your turf in your entire yard, you're talking like 3 cents a square foot with the discount.
Wow!
And so it's very, very, very reasonable. And it sounds like the water district is going to help supplement 50% of the cost of the grass. So instead of paying 7 cents. 6 or 7 cents a square foot, you're going to pay like 3 to 3.5. Yeah, 3 to 3.5 cents a square foot, which is very, very reasonable for this amazing of a grass seed variety. Yeah. So, tell us about the Eden, Doug. It's got dwarf turf type fescues in it and some really drought tolerant bluegrass. Correct?
That is correct. It's a 90% turf type tall fescue and 10%. Improved bluegrasses. I came up with that mix, showing my age here a little bit, back in the 80s. And back at that time, California was going heavy into turf-type tall fescues, but the sod producers were losing a lot of their sod in the harvesting process because they couldn't sell a square of sod that had a hole in it. So I suggested they put 10% bluegrass in with the turf-type tall fescue to help eliminate those holes. Now, what we did realize is that it was a very good grass for those people who have dogs. Dogs, as we know, do a lot of damage with their urine and stuff, and that product has held up extremely well against the dogs. So we called it the perfect kid and dog lawn because of its wear tolerance and repairability. It's very deep-rooted in a sandy soil. There's the potential of a 3 to 5 foot long root system.
That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, as you're chasing water as it goes through the soil profile, it's good to have roots that can go deeper and chase that water. So with that product, you have both drought tolerance, but also drought avoidance, which means the plant will do better going into the drought, but it will also recover quicker coming out of the drought. So it's a wonderful product. We called it Eden for a reason, and so it's a great product. But anyway, Mark, as you were talking about your pumpkin festival and stuff, a thing that came to my mind was that maybe in the fall or in the spring, you should have a contest of people bringing in a square foot of their home lawn and see who has the best looking lawn in Cache Valley.
That's not a bad idea. That would be a lot of fun.
that would be a lot of fun, and people could have little contest there, have some judges, and give an award of some sort. We'd be happy to participate in that. And
that sounds awesome. All right, we're gonna have to talk some more, Doug.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about pumpkins and people bringing in their pumpkins and da-di-da, So I just had the light go on about, hey, bring in a square foot of sod for these lawn lovers and give somebody a nice big blue ribbon.
Do something like that too. So sounds good. Sounds good. All right, we're going to take a short break.
Do.
Yeah,
a short break and have a couple callers, and we can take more calls. 753-5868. That's 753-KVNU. If you have a question about your lawn or your garden, fruit trees, we're taking all of those calls at 753-KVNU. We'll be right back here on The Garden Guide. 30 minutes after the hour, and with your local news update, I'm Will Thielwright. A 40-year-old Millville woman has been arrested for allegedly taking pornographic pictures and videos of a teenage girl and then exchanging them with other teenage boys on Snapchat, according to law enforcement. Heidi Marie Williams was booked Wednesday into the Cache County Jail after allegedly telling investigators that what she did was common and how she grew up. Now, according to an affidavit of probable cause, Cache County Sheriff's deputies received a report in April claiming that Williams would use the alleged victim's phone, force her to remove her clothing, and then take pornographic photos and movies of her. Now, the child's sexual abuse material was then traded with boys in exchange for similar pictures of themselves. Now, Williams made an initial appearance Friday in Logan's First District Court. She was charged with 20 counts of aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor, a first-degree felony. Now, Cache County Deputy Attorney Aaron Jossie had asked the court to hold Williams in jail without bail due to the nature of the charges. Williams was ordered to remain behind bars and appear again in court Monday. She could face up to life in prison if convicted. And Salt Lake Community College has temporarily postponed bringing outside speakers to its campuses following the fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. Peta Owens-Liston, who is the assistant director of public relations at the college, said that the school will postpone outside speaker events through the end of September to carefully review their safety practices for events of that kind. Now, Owens-Liston said that the college is committed to being a place where all are welcome and all viewpoints can be shared and considered through civil discourse. Well, your weather forecast calling for a mix of mostly clear skies with a few clouds. Temperatures the next several days staying right around the mid-70s during the day, with overnight temperatures into the mid-40s. Will Thielwright, KVNU News.
I'm Jim Baskell. Lead it off with baseball with Aaron Judge climbing that immortal Yankee home run list.
A 1-pitch swing on a high fly ball. Deep center field, and that ball on cue is out of the ballpark. Out of the ballpark on the Lansdowne, 1-0. Yankees as Aaron Judge cranks home run number 47, RBI number 101. And that breaks the tie with Joe DiMaggio. He's in fourth place all time on the Yankee franchise home run list.
That's Dave Sims, WFAN. Aaron Judge, 362 career. Luis Gil, 6 no-hit innings and a 4-1 win over the Red Sox. Yankees open a game-and-a-half lead over Boston for the top wild card. Tigers star lefty and reigning Cy Young winner Tarek Skubal will undergo tests on his left side. It happened in the club's 8-2 loss to the Marlins after experiencing tightness on that side. Patrick Bailey, a walk-off grand slam. Giants beat the Dodgers 5-1. San Francisco, half game out of the final wild card in the NL because the Mets lose again. Jacob deGrom, 6 runs of support before he threw a pitch at Citi Field. Rangers 8-3 over the Mets. He went 7 strong in that win. Bryce Harper, Bryson Stott went deep. Phillies win their 5th straight, 8-2 over the Royals. Their magic number to clinch the NL East is down to 3. Dalton Varsho, a 2-run pinch hit double and a 3-run 8th. Vlad Jr. reaches base 5 times. Blue Jays over the O's 6-1. Zach Cole, home run on the first pitch he sees in the Bigs. Jose Altuve is 25th of the year. Astros rout the Braves 11-3. Cole 3 for 4 with 4 knocked in. But the M's keep pace by way of a 2-1 win over the Angels. Tanner Bybee, 2-hitter for Cleveland. First complete game shutout in 6 years. Guardians 4-0 over the White Sox. And Cody Clemens, Rogers' kid, 3 home runs. Twins edge the Diamondbacks. That's a 9-8 final while Christian Yelich goes deep. Brewers over the Cards 8-2.
We're here with Chuck, founder of Dollar Loan Center. So what's the catch on this free week of interest?
If you're a new customer, the first week's interest is on us. It's free to apply and there's no other fees. So I guess the catch is you got to be a first-time customer. Think of it as a free trial. No matter how much you borrow, if you don't dig it, all you need to do is pay back the principal within a week, and that's it. No interest, no fees. It allows folks to see how much they can save, how much more we lend, and our flexibility for them to pay it back, even if you need up to a year.
Thanks, Chuck. DLC lends up to $5,000 in minutes, and you can get your cash in person at one of our 70 locations, on our website, don'tbebroke.com, or even over the phone with one of our helpful, real staff members. You're gonna love Dollar Loan Center.
Licensed by the Utah Department of Financial Institutions. Subject to approval. Limitations may apply. See website for details.
The Garden Guide with Mark Anderson from Anderson Seed and Garden on News Talk KVNU, 610 AM and 102.1 FM.
And welcome back to the Garden Guide. 8:35 now as we finally made it back up to 50 outside the KVNU studios. As it's been a chilly morning.
Nice balmy 50.
Yeah. Can definitely start to feel fall in the air. I was driving through Sardine Canyon last Sunday, and yeah, the leaves are starting to change.
Changing. Yep, colors are changing.
So yeah, fall is definitely in the air. And of course, as we've been talking with Doug Washburn, grasses are starting to green back up. Lawns are starting to get pretty again after the hot summer months. And before we talk more grass and lawn, the cash sale going on this weekend.
Cash sale going on this weekend, yes. So all of our remaining trees, fruit trees, shade trees, flowering trees, evergreens, shrubs, roses, vines, they're all 50% off if you pay with cash.
Okay.
And so we've got a good selection of a lot of plants, and they're looking for homes. And if you want to add some stuff to your yard, this is the time to do it. Great time for planting and a great time for purchasing because you can get them for half price if you pay with cash. It's 40% off if you pay with a credit card or with a check. But if you pay with cash, you get that extra 10%. And you get the 50% discount. And we do have some really good-looking plants left still.
Okay.
Yeah, some really, really nice stuff. And then we did talk about the Pumpkin Festival
coming
up on
2 weeks from now.
On the 27th, and that should be a blast. And the Latino Festival today from 10 until dark.
Yeah, it goes up until about 7, 8 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, maybe even longer.
Mm.
They're out partying They're out partying long.
So. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's free. Just head on down to downtown Logan. Center Street, of course, will be blocked off. The parades will be taking place this afternoon. They'll have dancing. They've got the. I lost track how many food vendors they've got coming this year. More than they've ever had.
Cool.
So it'll be a lot of fun. The Latino Festival taking place today in downtown Logan, and then of course top of Utah next weekend, and then the Center Street Giant Pumpkin Festival 2 weeks from now.
Yep, in 2 weeks.
All right, well, let's go back out to the phone lines. We have Doug Washburn, who's been joining us on the line, who knows all things grass. And Doug, we have a caller who is joining us, Todd, on the line. And Todd, welcome to the show. Thanks for holding.
You're welcome, guys. How you doing this morning?
Great.
Well, good. Hey, a couple questions. Is it okay if I put raspberries or blueberries in a raised garden box, or blackberries?
Absolutely. So all three of those do very, very well in raised beds. With the blueberries, though, they need an acidic soil. So I would recommend you start with an acidic soil mix instead of a traditional potting soil or a raised bed mix, because they need that higher acidity, or your blueberries won't do very well. Raspberries and blackberries, not as essential, but it is helpful to add some sulfur into the soil to keep the pH down as well, too. But they do sensational in raised beds, Todd.
Okay, what type of soil would the acidic soil, what is that called?
So I've got a mix, and it is from Kellogg, and it is called Acid Loving Soil Mix. And so it's made for acidic plants. So it's made for azaleas and rhododendrons and blueberries specifically. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And I just want to say how much I appreciate the Mark's mix and the Eden grass.
Which you have recently planted in your backyard.
Yes. It was a 4-step process over 4 weeks. and we finally got that planted, and thanks to Mark's diagnosis with extra thatch and a power raker. We finally got that done, and it's working. So,
yeah, it looks great. The pictures you sent over looks amazing. So yeah, his Eden and Mark's mix just filled in really fast, Doug. It looks great.
Nice. Well, keep sending the pictures in. I'm always excited when I see happy campers.
Well, you need to send that to him, Mark.
I will forward the photos before and after to Doug so he can see how awesome it looks.
Well, that would be great.
Well,
keeping it up's the best thing I need to do now. So,
and we just
all right. Thanks.
I was going to say, we discussed a little bit of humate the other day, a little bit of fertilizer, and maybe a little bit of mycorrhiza to get that root system really going active. So,
yes, we did. I appreciate that, guys. Thanks so much.
Yep. Thanks for calling, Todd.
See you. Bye.
And phone lines are open, 753-KVNU, 753-5868. If you have a question, comment for Mark Anderson of Anderson Seed and Garden or Doug Washburn, as we've been talking about grass. And, Todd just was mentioning for him it was a 4-week process, Doug. And if someone is looking to completely redo their lawn, is it usually about 4 weeks?
Yes, it is about 4 weeks. And summertime, if you're not having some special event or something, is a good time to get that done. It's the process of using glyphosate, Roundup to kill your lawn, and then you can scalp it to the ground, remove that old stubble, and then reseed, aerify if you can, and reseed, and then it takes a couple weeks to for the lawn to germinate. You'll be mowing in 2 to 3 weeks. So, it takes a week or two for a good kill job and stuff. So it's a 4-week process, but summertime's a good time to do it. Go on vacation while you're enjoying yourself. Your lawn's dying. And
spray first,
Exactly.
Yeah, you come back, the grass is dead.
And grass is dead, and you can get after it, and within a couple of weeks it's all green again, and you're back in favor with your neighbors.
Yeah. So with Todd, I went out to his place and we looked at his turf, and he kept getting diseases, and his lawn would die back in the middle of summer. And I went out there and we dug some plugs and did some checking. We realized that his thatch layer was over an inch thick. So he had just a ton of thatch, and it was just causing problems. Like his fertilizer wasn't being effective, and there was a perfect location for diseases to take off. And so I was just like, okay, Todd, we got to get rid of this before we even do anything, because you could seed on top of it and it'll never take. It'll never go. And I think he's experienced that in the past. And so he did the fun job, which is like the greatest job ever, of power raking the lawn.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It is aeration and power raking, I think, are the two most difficult jobs in the garden or the yard of all time. But it power raked and just really got all that dead thatch and stuff out of there. And then I believe Todd brought a little bit of topsoil in just to kind of go over some of the spots after he'd kind of cut the grass down low. And then he just seeded right over the top of it. And he seeded about 4 weeks ago, and now it's been that month, and he's already mowed it a couple times, I think, and it looks really good. It's just a completely different green color. It's a deep dark green. It really looks amazing. So. Good process.
If we do pursue this contest of bringing in a square foot of grass in the springtime, if he brings a square foot of his, he could possibly win the contest, because newly seeded lawns are the ones that green up the quickest in the springtime. So he could be a real competitor if we go with this fun little game. But people, if you want to have a really dark green lawn next spring, you got to start this fall.
Yep. And there's plenty of time to plant. So we usually tell people from the 1st of July until about the first week of October is like the perfect time to plant. It's just like
Right.
the soil's nice and warm, and it's starting to cool down, so you don't have to water as much. That grass seed pops up out of the ground like crazy, and it's about 3 or 4 weeks, and you're mowing already.
Exactly. So the downtime is minimal, but the results are fantastic. And yeah, you'll be able to put those stripes in there if you want stripes, and you're just creating an environment of built-in insecticides and genetically darker, greener color, more defense against diseases,
right,
and more shade tolerance. I know that Cache Valley has a lot of trees, and that turf-type tall fescue is very shade tolerant. So, we talked about dogs. Those of you who have dogs, it's going to hold up better than bluegrass.
Right.
So there's just a whole bunch of advantages, and it sounds like you've got a helper in the money department with the water district.
Absolutely.
What a great idea! Instead of elimination, let's go with grasses that are more drought tolerant and let people enjoy their environment.
Yeah, we've found with either the Eden or our Marks mix, which like you said has that turf type fescue in there that's so drought tolerant. We found our customers can water once a week, maybe even once every 10 days throughout the summer, and their lawn won't look perfect, but it looks pretty darn good. And then in the spring, it looks amazing, and in the fall, it looks amazing because it cools down. But it can handle that once a week, once every 10 days, good watering throughout the entire hot, dry part of the summer and still look pretty darn good.
Yep. So we always talk this time of year of people getting prepared for voles. Don't forget about
yes.
Doing some vole management. And then this is the time of year when the plant builds up carbohydrates so that it can overwinter, kind of like fat reserves. So, urea-based fertilizers are good ones to incorporate because they break down slower,
right,
and they have a longer longevity. So Mark's got some excellent fertilizers with some urea in there, so that would be beneficial.
Yeah. Good time to fertilize. We usually tell people right after Labor Day, you want to feed that lawn, get it rejuvenated, get it looking really good after a hot, dry, stressful summer. And so we're recommending slow release nitrogen, either methylene urea or sulfur coated urea, which will give you that nice 10-week release of nitrogen, and then a high iron content as well too, extra 5% of iron, and all of a sudden your lawn will be so green and looking good and getting ready for winter. Get it prepped.
Yep. So Sid, you had a few questions. What questions do you have, Mark?
Yeah. My questions were definitely with the varieties of grasses that we've kind of already talked about a little bit, but we've got every year I have people that come into my garden center and they're like, do you put an insecticide on your turf? And it's like, no, I don't, because I never have had insects in my lawn, and I don't anticipate having that. And that's because we've selected varieties of grass that are resistant to insects and resistant to diseases. And sometimes it blows them away. It's like, you mean you don't spend this money for disease control or for insect control? It's like, no, and I haven't for the last 15 years. And what varieties are we talking about that are going to have that built-in insect resistance and that built-in disease resistance that people could start to incorporate into their existing turf, right now or even next year if they want to help eliminate some of those applications that they're making, because it does get really expensive?
Well, what you're referring to is a fungus which lives inside of the turf plant, and it does not damage the turf plant. They're having a nice symbiotic relationship there, and they're called endophytes, and they are present in turf-type tall fescues, and perennial ryegrasses. Bluegrasses the endophytes cannot live in the
Kentucky bluegrass.
Plant.
Gotcha.
And so with the incorporation of turf-type tall fescues and perennial ryegrasses in your lawn, when the insects start to chew on the roots of the plant, the endophyte gets into the digestive tract of the insect, and it kills the insect. So it's quite a remarkable find and discovery. It's been around for quite a while, but it's another good reason to take that effort and make your lawn more bug-proof.
Yeah, and these turf-type fescues, they're not as thick-bladed as the older turf-type fescues that maybe some people are familiar with, because we've incorporated some into sections of our turf, and it blends in so nice. You can't really feel the stiffness or the coarseness of the grass. It's actually got a really nice texture to it.
It's very, very close to Kentucky bluegrass, and the thing is about the fescues is that they will maintain their appearance like bluegrass, but you will have to periodically beef up the density by overseeding. Every 2-3 years.
Right.
You want to help Mother Nature and put some more plants out there, and keep that density up, and then you'll keep the texture in a favorable manner.
Because the fescues don't spread like the bluegrass does.
No, which is a good idea. I mean,
it's aggressive.
You may consider elimination of the concrete border that keeps your lawn from creeping into your living room.
with the fescues, and then the ryegrasses and the fescues both have that drought tolerance built into them, but they seem to be more resistant to like most diseases as well too. So we don't see the necrotic ring spot in the ryegrass that we get in Kentucky bluegrass. I've got multiple homeowners coming in on a weekly basis. They're just like, I've got this in my turf. I was like, oh, you got necrotic ring spot. So it really helps with a lot of those diseases.
Yes, let me talk about necrotic ring spot. It seems to have raised its head again recently. I've gotten some phone calls from people, and I've had the professionals that want to do a patch approach to necrotic ring spot and just reseed those places where the necrotic ring spot are, and they're asking me to have a color guide here so that they can perfectly match up the color of the existing lawn to these patched areas. And it's nearly impossible because the varieties that people have in their lawns are so old that and the varieties that are being utilized today are highly selected on their color.
Yeah, much darker green.
Yeah, much darker. So it's really difficult. So my recommendation, folks, is that if you do have a necrotic ring spot a problem, as Mark has said, perennial ryegrass is very resistant to it. So you need to figure on overseeding your entire lawn with perennial ryegrass, not just the damaged spots, because otherwise, you're not going to be happy with the results.
You can see the difference.
You can see the difference. And, so you go from a dead spot to a dark green spot.
Right.
And that's not going to make you happy either. You just want it all the same.
I went to one of our lawn care customers' houses the other day because they were annoyed that their neighbor's lawn was a darker green, and they don't fertilize as much, and they don't use our service, and he really wanted me to come take a look at it. And so I went out there, and I pulled up to his house, and I was like, dang, his lawn looks really good. It's like, I'm not sure what he's talking about. It's like, his front lawn looks great. So I went around to the back, and in the back, his lawn looked just as good in the back as it did in the front. But his neighbor had planted this spring, had planted new grass. And it was absolutely a darker color. I mean, it was like way darker than his grass. And he came out and we talked, and I was like, your lawn looks really good. And he's like, yeah, but my neighbor's is dark green. And he's only fertilized like twice this year. And I was like, your lawn is never going to look like his grass. And it's just like, it's just a fact. It's like, it's never going to look like that until we kill it and we plant that variety of grass. Then it's going to be that color, So either be content with what you've got, or let's start incorporating some new grasses into your old grass, or let's just kill it and start all over. And then you're going to be really happy because you'll never have to put an insecticide on again, and you won't have to put a disease control on again, and you won't have to water as much. I mean, it's a huge cost savings and time savings when it comes down to some of these newer varieties of grasses.
Oh, that is fun, and it's great to have that competition in the neighborhood and stuff, because it makes the whole neighborhood better. And what's wrong with that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, little bit of friendly competition never hurt, especially in the grass department. So,
nope.
In the grass,
and we all know that it all starts with the grass, and from there it goes into the shrub beds and what have you. So it starts with the lawn, and it's easy to do, and you got quick results, and
right.
And it's a good place to start. And for some of us who aren't as green-thumbed as others, it's an easy way to get that green thumb started.
Yep. Yeah, grass gets a bad rap. Like, so many people talk about how needy it is, and how you have to fertilize, and you have to do bugs, and you have weeds, and you have to water it so much. And I'm just like, but grass does so many good things. It filters dust out of the air, and it keeps, water from running off somewhere else. It filters all that water, it cleans it, and then it provides, oxygen as well too. And turf is very, very beneficial. It's just you got to use the right kind of turf so you don't have to water it every day.
Well, and that's why when you go up to Cache Valley, you go over the hills there, and man, the air smells better. You can breathe better,
it's
because
cleaner.
all that oxygen produced by all those nice green, dark lawns in Cache Valley.
Yeah.
And all the trees too. So, if we could just plant more trees and plant more drought-tolerant turf, it would fix everything, Doug.
It would. It really would. It really would.
Yeah,
it's easy solve. It's an easy solve.
It really is.
It
really is. So,
and
I'll send you the information from the Cache Water District so you can check that out. And if you're listening and you are interested in that, you can just go to the cachewaterddistrict.com and get onto their website, and then there'll be information there about this program, and it's called their grass reseeding program. And to participate, anyone in Cache County can participate. If you want to just rejuvenate your park strip, or if you want to do your entire lawn, there's funds there to help with that, and they're there to help out, and we're here to help out as well too. So we can walk you through the process and help you figure out how to do it best. But the Cache Water District is trying to help people change out their turf from a needy, water-hungry grass to a drought-tolerant, beautiful, dark green turf you just don't have to do as much work with. And it's very, very inexpensive if you've checked into it. So great way to do that. You can get that information on cachewaterddistrict.com. So
wonderful. Man, that's a wonderful program. And I wish instead of paying for people to eliminate turf, that they would have not went so drastically,
Yeah.
What a great idea.
We've calculated that we can take care of probably 30 to 50 customers compared to one with the other program. So we can change out 30 to 50 lawns with a new drought-tolerant turf instead of changing it to landscape, and you'll probably save more water in the long run with the turf.
There you go.
Great way to go.
Yeah.
Sensible. Yeah, very sensible.
Doug, thanks for being on the show today. We really appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. We're going to talk what the best time of year is to do that contest, and let's do it. It should be fun.
Doug Washburn, and always great to have him on the show. And don't forget the cash sale going on this weekend. And join us again next week for the Garden Guide here on KVNU.
610 AM and 102 FM.
Best part of my day.
News Talk KVNU. Logan. Proud to be locally owned and operated by the Cash